Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel, The College Process. Once again, I'm Ed from Principia Prep, and today we're going to be going over colleges now costing $100,000 a year. But before we begin, if you are new to the channel and looking for additional college content, please hit the subscription button down below. It will notify you when new videos do come out. As well as if you do enjoy today's video, please leave us a like and a comment. It does help the channel. In addition to that, we are still running the James Russo Memorial Scholarship, our scholarship program here at Principia Prep. If you are looking for scholarship help for your seniors going off to college next year, very simple. Down below in the description is the link to the video explaining how our scholarship program works here at Principia. And of course, in addition to that, we do have down below in the description, if you are looking to help our organization keep making these videos for you guys to help you with the college process, we do also have down below the organization's Venmo as well as our buy us a coffee if you want to help support the channel, allowing us to keep making these college videos for you guys out there. And all that being said, let's jump right into today's video. Colleges now costing $100,000 a year or more. In my 30-year career, I never thought there would come a time where I would actually say that there are now colleges that cost over $100,000 a year. Believe it or not, we are now at a point where there are colleges that have already come out and said and are showing they're over $100,000. Some that are basically on the brink of breaking over $100,000, where if we break down the numbers, which I'll do today for you guys, we'll actually show you they actually are over $100,000, and basically a bunch more in the background in that $85,000, $90,000 camp, which will be exceeding the $100,000 cost basically in the next 2 or 3 years now, unfortunately. Now, it's kind of a disclaimer here. I did this video for a couple of reasons. Number one, first, basically talk about the fact that there even are colleges that cost $100,000 or more. I also did this because I did see online a couple of days ago basically a list of schools that indicated the most expensive colleges in the United States. And to be honest with you, I looked at the list and I kind of already knew the list was kind of wrong from a perspective that's looking at it incorrectly. Because when we look at the college cost, what we need to figure out and basically determine is what is our total cost, not what is the tuition cost. Because as many of you guys already know, they're already in the process of either putting together your college list or deciding at which colleges to send your student off to they've already been accepted to, or you're figuring out future college costs for maybe a freshman, sophomore, junior scenario you guys might be watching now. The reason I put this together is to explain to you guys that when you're looking at any college, you're never looking at just the tuition cost, because colleges cost more than just tuition. When you're looking at college costs, what you're looking for is always the cost of attendance. When you're dealing with a total college cost, what you're really considering and should be asking these colleges is, what is your cost of attendance? Because when you ask a college what their cost of attendance is, it's your way of saying, give me every cost factor that I will be incurring sending my student off to your college, which means tuition, room and board, books, transportation, miscellaneous expenses, health insurance, the whole gambit. Give me all of it. That's what you're saying when you ask a college for their cost of attendance. The list of schools that I saw, which is right here, I'll put here, the most expensive schools according to this survey here, is somewhat correct but also incorrect. From the point of view of when you start looking at the most expensive schools based on their cost of attendance, including everything, this is the actual cost of schools here. This is the actual list of the most expensive schools out there. As you can see here, one thing I do like about the schools at the top up here, as far as Miami and NYU, they're very transparent. From the point of view of, on their own website, they come out and say, this is our cost of attendance, and they give you the entire breakdown. They give you the tuition cost, the room and board cost, the health insurance cost, the transportation cost, so on and so forth. They're all here. So I like these guys at the top because they're more transparent. Where other colleges, as we get a little bit further down, are not as transparent, unfortunately. So if you look at other schools on here as well, schools like USC and Harvey Mudd, these schools here, while they're all in the high 90s, let's call it, the reality is when you look at their cost of attendance, they don't include all the factors. In fact, if you're looking specifically at USC and you're not from the West Coast, let's call it, their expense, according to them on their website for their travel cost is $414 for the whole academic year. Realistically speaking, if you don't live in that area, or you're 5-6 hours away, your travel costs are going to be way higher than $414. In addition to that, when they say the travel cost, they mean the whole academic year. So that means holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, spring break, dropping the student off in the fall, picking them up in the spring. All these different factors they're saying only cost on average $414. Unfortunately, realistically speaking, that's not the reality of the scenario. So for this school specifically here, USC, for me, they are at the $100,000 mark or above when you factor in anything over $1,500 or $2,000 of expense for travel, which is not out of the realm of possibility because of the fact that if you live 5-6 hours away, you're taking airfare to get there, obviously it's going to cost more than $414. But USC is not the only school that falls into this category, unfortunately. If you look at the same area, California, Harvey Mudd does the same thing, unfortunately, where they don't count on their cost of attendance, traveling, or health insurance. So if you factor any of those into consideration, once again, we're at a $100,000 college once again. So unfortunately, when you're looking at these colleges, you have to realize there are certain costs. And when you're looking at their cost of attendance, you have to make sure everything is there. Is it showing me travel expense? Is it showing me health insurance? Because legally, most colleges require all students to have health insurance. And if you don't have health insurance as a parent for your student, or if your provider tells you that yes, we can provide you in-state coverage, or if your student leaves a state they reside in and goes somewhere else or goes too far, we might not cover them, and you have to be forced to take the school's insurance policy, then yes, you're incurring anywhere from $2,000, $3,000, even $4,000 of extra cost here. So these are the different little nuances of figuring out the cost of attendance from a college specifically is, are you including everything? And for me, cost of attendance includes tuition, room, board, travel expenses, health insurance, the books, any miscellaneous fees like new student fee, technology fee, parking fee, etc. All the potential fees should be considered when you're looking at the school's cost of attendance. And by the way, California is not the only schools that does this as well. As you look at my list down here as well, a lot of the mid-90s schools, unfortunately, do the same thing. Because as you can see here on the list, the mid-90s schools here, Vassar, Amherst, Wesleyan, these schools here are doing the same thing. They're not counting health insurance, some of them. They're not counting travel expenses. Or they're counting it at a very low rate, which doesn't make any sense. So you should be considering increasing this budget for yourselves if you're looking at these schools, because it will be more expensive to travel. Now, this video is not to tell you guys not to apply to these colleges. That's not what this video is about. Because if you watch my other videos, you know most of these colleges here are extremely generous. But it is a little bit insane, to be honest with you, that a college deems itself to be worth $100,000. And in my opinion, there is no college in the world that's worth $100,000 or utilizing that much of a resource, or when you've taken a loan, let's call it, future resources because you're paying back the loan. In my opinion, there is no school that you should be $100,000 plus a year, because over 4 years, you're basically looking at $400,000 plus, because you have to consider every school increases their price. Every school goes up between 3 to 6%. Next year could be 105. Then you're looking at 108, 109, then 115. Before you know it, you're looking at $115,000 to $120,000 school by year 4. You're somewhere now in the category of $425,000, $450,000 of cost. That's a huge amount of resources to provide to get an education. There's obviously, in my opinion, and once again, I've been doing this 30 years or so, and I am a college advisor telling you not to go down this path, who's experienced this every year, year after year, of students looking at very expensive schools that are way too expensive, not just for them, but just for the resources available to utilize them all to get an education, to then start working, in some cases at a job that pays you $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 if you're lucky. So the reality is, you need to sit down and figure out the numbers. If these schools here are very generous, then go on, apply. But if they're not very generous, whether it be these schools or anybody else, I would not be going down a path of what parents and students used to be going down the path of 5, 10, 15 years ago, which everyone thought, you go to the most difficult school to get into, whether it's the most expensive or not, doesn't matter. That's not the thought process anymore. You should not be thinking, I need to get to the highest ranking school. You should be thinking, I need to get to the best educational path for my student, with the best career opportunities, with the most affordable scenario in place. If you do that, you'll be fine. If you go out and the only mindset is, I need to get into the most difficult school, if it costs $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, we're just gonna borrow for that money, or we're gonna use our resources available, or we're gonna do payment plans, whatever it is, that's not a good game plan anymore. It has not been a good game plan for basically the last 4 or 5 years. So utilizing that much of a resource, I think, is not a good idea anymore. Once again, find the right school, right academic fit that's affordable for your family, and then do all the internships, all the co-ops, networking opportunities. Get yourself established in your career field, and you'll do just as well in whatever school you go to, rather than going off and spending $100,000 plus, which nowadays, to be honest with you, I believe is a waste of money and resources. Other than that, thank you once again for watching today's video. My name is Ed from Principia Prep. On the screen is my contact information. If you do need assistance in the process, please feel free to reach out. Once again, I do help families out on a one-on-one basis through Zoom. That's my cell phone number if you want to call or text me, or you can email if you want to sit down, look over your information, your situation, and get a good game plan going for you guys. And other than that, thank you for watching today's video. Once again, my name is Ed from Principia Prep.